Hi there, book reading friends. It's time for another book challenge, TBR. If you've seen my year-long and early January challenges video, you'll know that I've got the goal this year of getting some of my old titles off my TBR. 700 plus titles on my Kindle, probably 2 or 3 dozen unread titles that I own in hard copy format. So my goal is to get as much of that stuff off of my TBR as possible. I am supplementing with a few library books to meet some of the reading challenges, but a relatively small number with the goal of not adding anything to my personal ownership until I've gotten some things cleaned off. Harder to do than you might think for someone who loves books like I do. I've had to stop opening up BookBub emails and things like that so I don't go after my free books. But the Backlist Bookathon starts on the 15th, and if everything goes according to plan, you will be seeing this video uploaded on the 15th. It might actually end up being the second video I upload on that day, depending on how things go today with loading a video. But from the 15th of January to the 15th of February, there's the Backlist Bookathon, and the purpose of this is just to get books off of your TBR that have been there for a while. So you're literally just trying to clean out your backlist. There are 10 prompts, I believe. Yep, 10 prompts. They each have different point values based on the prompt. And the goal was to go for the oldest. And for the most part, 7 of these are on my Kindle. 2 of them one of them is a hard copy that I own, and the other 2 are coming from the library, but they're books that have been on my TBR list for a long time. And they're going to enable me to read other hard copy books that I own quickly and get rid of them. So we're just going to jump right in. The first prompt was a book that is published before January of 2020. I read the first of this trilogy. This is called Rising Tide. It is the second book in the Atlantic Island trilogy. I read the first one in December as a part of In December. This is book 2. I have book 3, and then there's also a collection of short stories. They are all on my TBR for this year. Frederick Chernoff republished these in late 2019. And so I'm excited to get into books 2 and 3. Book 1 was great, major cliffhanger ending, so I'm excited about getting into this. I'm an older anticipated. This has been on my Kindle for I don't know how long. It's come so highly recommended. For whatever reason, it's never made it into an actual TBR. Eversong by A.C. Salter. It's been on my Kindle forever. It's volume 1 of the Daughter of Chaos trilogy, so I know very little about it. I remember being very intrigued by some reviews from friends and things, so that's why I have it. We'll see. Something that's been on my TBR for at least 6 months. This one's been there much longer. This one showed up in the previous reading challenge video I did when I talked about trying to get through all of Patricia Cornwell's Kay Scarpetta books and get caught up with the most current one, The Body Farm by Kay Scarpetta, or by Patricia Cornwell. Main character is Kay Scarpetta. I love her writing. I love the books. Each of the individual murder mysteries, for the most part, can stand pretty much alone, but in the later books, especially, Kay's personal life begins to play a part in a lot of the stories. And so knowing what's going on with her personally is great for me to keep track of the stories. So working on getting through hers. Another author who writes a recurring character that I'm trying to get through, caught back up to where he is John Sanford. Rules of Prey, which is his Lucas Davenport series. He's also got a Virgil Flowers series that I'm a lot closer to being caught up with, but he's written a lot more Lucas Davenport books, so I've got a lot longer to go. Again, love his writing, murder mystery, police procedural kind of thing. So that will be for the book that I've been avoiding because it's older. I know there's a lot of catching up to do, so I kind of haven't done a lot of Sanford reading lately because I know I've got a lot to catch up. One more Patricia Cornwell book, a book that I intend to read, reread, or unhaul. Any of the above. I will be rereading this, and this is one I have to grab from the library because I don't own a physical copy of it. Patricia Cornwell's From Potter's Field, another Kay Scarpetta book. These are the next ones in order chronologically from the way they were published. This is the book that I've been wanting to read but haven't yet. This is the final book in a series that I've spent, I think I read most of the series last year. I reread the first one and then worked my way through the rest of it. The Emperor's Doom, Tales of Saladia, book 5. It's the final book in this series, and I'm so excited because it's been such a great series. The build up and anticipation is so amazing in every book. The world building is amazing. The characters I'm so invested in their lives and what happens. There's a part of me that can't wait to read the book and a part of me that doesn't want to because I know when I finish it, it's done, and I'm kind of torn because it'll be like giving up friends, and it's the great part and the terrible part of a well-written series. When it's really, really good, you hate to see it end because you don't want to give up your friends. So, but I will be reading that one as a part of the Backlist Bookathon. This one's been on my TBR forever. I picked it up, I think, from BookBub. It's the first in a series. It's called Hex on the Beach. The Magic and Mixology Mystery Series, Book 1. I know very little about it other than there's magic and a murder mystery. What's not to love? This one I've been avoiding because it intimidates, and I'm not gonna lie, it comes highly recommended from a friend. But it's very culturally thick was the word. Those are her words, not mine. Very culturally thick, meaning I'm diving into a culture I know very little about. It's called My Splendid Concubine. It's a novel by Lloyd Lofthouse that takes place in I don't want to say ancient China because it doesn't go that far back, but it's China of the past. And so there's a lot of cultural things that are going to be discussed here that I'm really going to have to engage my brain to understand. So I've been avoiding it because it's intimidating, and that's the prompt. A book that you're reading it's been on your TBR, but it has mixed or bad reviews. Until the End of the World by Sarah Lyons Fleming. I have 2 friends that loved it. I had a friend that was kind of neutral about it and a couple of friends that just didn't like it at all. So mixed reviews. There you go. When it was gifted or recommended, and you might be unsure about, I don't know that this qualifies for the unsure because the person that gifted it to me knows me too well. I'm sure she's trying to stretch my reading somewhere, just knowing her. But this was gifted to me in December, of all things, by my daughter, Margaret Adele, who I will put a link to her YouTube channel in the comments or in the video description. This is called Bless Her Dead Hearts by the Righteous series. Her comment when she gifted it to me was, "There's lots of sweet tea," which I drank a lot of that while she was growing up. So that's probably why one of the things about it that connected with her. So that's what I will be reading for the gifted and recommended. It's supposed to be a book that was gifted or recommended to you that you're unsure about. I just don't know that I have any book that qualifies because I'll read pretty much anything anybody gives me. I'll give anything a try. I may not love it in the end, but I'm never necessarily unsure of a book when I go into it. So that's the Backlist Bookathon. It's only 10 books, and the prompt lasts for a month from the 15th of January to the 15th of February. So I'm pretty confident. And like I said, some of these books are showing up on other challenges. Most of them, as a matter of fact, show up on probably one of my year-end or year-long challenges. I know that for a fact. So I'll be good to go. I'll be covering a lot of prompts on a lot of reading challenges at this point in time. So I will tuck some links to various things. I'll tuck the links to the Backlist Bookathon, which is taking place largely on Discord and Twitter. And I will tuck a link to Margaret Adele's YouTube, since she's the one that gifted me the book I'm reading for the book that was gifted to me. So if you have some book goals for yourself for the year, I'd love to hear about them in the comments. Have a great day.